Yes, hello everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to our broadcast today. We were up all night monitoring what was going on in Nigeria because of the time difference. You can understand when it was around 9 a.m. in Nigeria, it was 3 a.m. here. So yeah, you can still see my eyes are still red. I've not had enough sleep, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And so thank you for joining in. Thank you for helping to spread our videos. Let me start first of all by saluting all the comrades in Nigeria, all over the place, different places where the action took place, all the different states where people went to the Inec headquarters and protested, starting from Abuja to Delta, Ogun State, Edo State, Oyo State, so many other places where people came out. A lot of you don't understand the significance of this protest, and let me also warn those of you who get frustrated, you get ruffled very, very easily. You come to my channel on a day that I'm saying something that resonates with you, and you're very, very happy, and you're texting, you're commenting, you're very, very happy. You come another day, you see me saying something you don't like. Just because you don't like it, you go ballistic. You begin to type and say so many things. You see, I really want to understand with you, because see, when we put our content out there, if people don't like it, if people don't acknowledge it, if people don't watch it, then it doesn't make sense. So I really respect however you feel about our content. Okay, but having said that, I need you to understand that just that reaction is one of the reasons why we protest. You see, it must not come to a point where you are the one deciding how people must live their life. It must not come to the point where you are the one calling the shots. Like I can't sit down in my house and decide for you what you're going to like and what you're not going to like. I want to be part of a group of people who are creating an environment that allows you to be yourself and to do whatever the hell you want to do, as far as you exist under a purported democracy. If you go and you find yourself under a military regime, if you find yourself under an autocracy, if you willingly go and live in a place like maybe a secular state where they are governed by religion, everything they do is governed by religion, you chose to go and live there, so you have to abide by their rules. But if you still exist in a place where they claim to be practicing democracy, then you must begin to elevate yourself to a system of thinking. You must adopt a style of thinking and reasoning that allows people around you to be what they want to be. I'm doing this program, I'm laying this background to make you understand why. For instance, you will hear someone like Omoyele Sowore and the African Action Congress screaming revolution now, and then you also hear them saying INEC leave AAC alone. Let me tell you why. The reason is this, and you must adopt that style in life. You can never, even in a family, you can never have everybody agree with you 100% all the time. And so you must create avenues for people to be able to vent out, for people to be able to direct their aggression. We started with, of course, we were activists, so many of us, way before we had something like the African like the Take It Back movement. Take It Back movement was born out of a discontentment with what was going on in Nigeria. We had had enough. Buhari and his people had bastardized everything. Of course, many of us did not even agree with him at all. Many of us did not vote for him, did not campaign for him. In fact, somebody like me campaigned for Jonathan. Why did I campaign for Jonathan? Because I knew what Buhari was. And my thing was, Jonathan was weak. Jonathan did not handle insecurity well. But at that time, the way things were going with Ahmed Tinubu, I knew that there was not going to be any good coming out of Buhari. So I never supported Buhari at all. In fact, I was a member of the TAN, Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, where we wanted to create an enabling environment where everybody could, come and vote and all of that. But that's as far as that one got. And Buhari and his gang took over power. And sooner or later, after they took over power, everything went berserk. Everything went haywire. When we had people like Oshomole in control, everything was just upside down. Boko Haram became more reinforced. Fulani headsmen became armed. They could now come and boast clearly to you that they were in power. Other nationalities invaded Nigeria, and before we knew it, we started hearing something like the cow took center stage in our discussions, in our polity, in our economy. Cows. We woke up in the morning, cow was on the street, cow was sighted, cow. Should we do cow? We shouldn't do cow. Buhari went to see his cows. Cows ate somebody's rice farm. Cows do this. They killed our cow. We killed somebody. We killed somebody because cow was the only thing we were now discussing in Nigeria. As if that wasn't enough, House of Assembly and Senate will sit down to start discussing grazing bill. Can you imagine how cows should be allowed to graze? That became the biggest issue that we'll discuss. That one didn't work. They say Ruga. And so many other things. And so at that point we said, no way. It is time to take back this country from the people who are messing it up. And so we came together and we formed the Take It Back movement. When we formed the Take It Back movement, at the center of our mission, at the center of our objective, was to take back that country called Nigeria from the people who were trying to mess it up. And so we did everything that we could. We started mobilizing, first from the diaspora. Moyele Sowore started going round, traveling all over the place. And then finally, he said, in fact, it was people. Everybody kept saying, you just there for abroad. You just there for abroad. You know fit come back to Nigeria. Come back to Nigeria now. Come back to Nigeria. If you be man, come back to Nigeria. And Moyele Sowore packed his bags You know very well. You know Sahara Reporters was doing fantastically well. Sahara Reporters was the most feared news organization in Nigeria. If you heard any news and you wanted to check it, you said, did you hear it? What did Sahara Reporters do? If you did anything and somebody told you, I will report you to Sahara Reporters, you adjusted yourself. But Omoyele Sowore left that, left his family, left his wife, and he went down to Nigeria. Before he was going to do that, he came to Canada and he did a town hall meeting. We invented the town hall meeting. No other person was doing town hall meeting that time. When he came here, I was getting ready to run for councillor in my own locality here in Toronto, Canada. I had already met, I had already started forming my campaign team. Honorable Jim Karigianis, you guys saw him. He spoke, he called Buhari to order when they arrested Sowore early this year. I went and met him, and he knew me very well. He knew my antecedents. He knew how far I had walked as the president of the Nigerian Canadian Association. So he knew what I was capable of doing. And he was one that even said, Chidi, you have to run for councillor. And we had started talking. We had started putting a team together. I was going to collect the form and fill. Then Sowore came, and I was excited. I was like, yes, man, I'm going to take you to City Hall. Let's go see the mayor. He said, really? I said, yes, I'll take you. We'll see the mayor. We'll see Jim Karigianis. Let's go and talk with these people. Let's begin to understudy how to run a government. And so when Sowore came here, I took him down to City Hall. He met with the mayor of Toronto, and he met with Jim Karigianis. Jim Karigianis took him around, took him into the City Hall chamber, council chambers. These people treated him with respect, gave him a certificate and all of that. Then Sowore said, man, I know you have this ambition here, but these guys here, they don't need help. Look at how everything is set up. Their government is working. Where they need us is in Nigeria. I'm going, think about it. He left. And I had this meeting with my wife and a few other people. And I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to run. I'm going to go back to Nigeria. And before I knew what was happening, King Kola, as I normally call him, he did a poster and he put Chidi for governor, Enugu State. We did not even have a party then. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, to cut the whole story short, we ended up going to Nigeria to talk about taking things over. And before then, we had made lots and lots of efforts to try to join a political party, because listen, you have to play by the rules, no matter how you want to do it. Okay, if you have to, I'm looking for the right analogy. You when you want to cook food, okay, there's not just one way of cooking the food. You may microwave it, you may cook it with stove, you may cook it with gas, you may cook it with firewood, kerosene, all kinds of, but you want to cook the food. So if we wanted to make the reasonable impact in Nigeria, we had to belong to a political party. So we went shopping. We went around. I'm building a story so you guys understand what is going on. Because when you jump now, you say, why are you talking about political party again? Are you confused? Ask yourself how many times you've said that thing. That I'm confused. That Nnamdi Kanu is confused. That Omoyele Sowore is confused. We hear you. We say, okay, Now you get your mouth. But anyways, we shopped around. Even we had this Atujide girl or woman come to us and said, oh, she was going to allow us to become a member of their party. On the more election, will be the presidential candidate. All we wanted, actually, in fact, I went ahead of myself. Before we even decided that I was going to be run for governorship, we had gone around trying to shop for a party, and we nearly ended up with that Atujide party. I have forgotten the name of the party. But to cut the long story short, we realized that all the political parties, the big political parties in Nigeria, because for us it was a learning process. I keep telling you, we are not politicians. We came into this game as activists. That's what we came there to do. Pressure, go back. You see, some of you don't like history, don't like to investigate. Go back and see Take It Back movement, what we're all about. Now, when we found out from coming close to these people what these political parties were made of, even Omoyele Sowore, who was covering politics in Nigeria, he was shocked when he came close and he saw what the political parties were made of, how they were organized, how they are. We said, no way, we are not going to do that. And so the only option for us was to come up with our own political party. How many weeks to the lifting of the ban on election, on campaign? Very few weeks. But we say, you know what? We're going to do it. If we succeed, we succeed. If we fail, we fail. So we went ahead and we started compiling documents and getting things ready to register the African Action Congress. And that's where Mr. Leonard came into the scene, because Leonard was in Nigeria. Of course, Omoyele Sowore will come to Nigeria, do stuff, go, and by this time, listen very carefully, because some of you didn't understand. Omoyele Sowore had an office in Lagos. His office, Sahara Reporters Headquarters, a big compound, his own office, his house, was on the same street as, you see that hotel that they were saying is 5-star hotel. This one, the same hotel where he would normally stay whenever he came into Nigeria. That hotel is not a big hotel here in North America. I've stayed there, people stay there. So it was the hotel that was like comfortable, that you can just come in, stay and go out. The same place he was staying when it was Take It Back movement, the same place he was staying before we ever asked anybody to contribute one dime to what was going on. For months. I need you to understand that. He didn't change hotel. He didn't go and start living in a 5-star hotel because he was now presidential candidate. No. The same place he had been staying for years. Anyway, that's beside the point. By the time we started the process of registering the party, people like Dr. Malcolm Fabi, people like Otunuga, Dr. Otunuga, Lesky, a lot of other people, Dotun, Ogunleya, so many people that time, even Ifi, and people who later went rogue, they all put their hands together and put down a lot of money. As I'm just talking, I'm just beginning to, you reflect on these things. I begin to think about how it was. And after all that, every money that was needed to do this, to get that, the lawyer was paid, and all of that, it was quietly done. The people who raised these monies out of their pockets. Hard-earned money, cost a lot. and Leonard was the person who was talking to Inec. He was the go between. He was the one that was talking with Inec. You understand? So that's how he developed that relationship with Inec. He was the one that they were seeing. And as God will have it, finally we registered the party, African Action Congress. And we did our best. Because if we did not have African Action Congress, nobody will listen to you. You will not be allowed, because the only thing that was happening in Nigeria were the political parties campaigning, pushing down their lies down people's throat. So if you wanted at all to have anything to do with, if you wanted people to hear your voice, if you wanted to connect with the people, you had to have a political platform. And so that's how we came up with AAC. Now today you're hearing AAC people say that INEC should leave AAC alone. Let me tell you what it is. We ran in the 2019 election and we did not win. But after that, INEC will go ahead to continue what they did. You know clearly that in the elections, INEC bribery was the order of the day. They took a lot of money, they changed results, they just bastardized the whole thing and put Buhari as the winner. You know very, very well what they did. And that is the very thing we are fighting against. Because with a place like INEC, it is through INEC that these people, these Fulani Janjaweeds, as one man I respect will always call them, they use a tool like INEC to perpetrate their evil. And so INEC still continued to meddle in their affairs, because with PDP and APC, those ones were already in their pockets. Of course, you know it's the same party. It's a matter of who, anytime you see APC win PDP, it's because they rigged more than PDP. Anytime you see PDP win, it's because PDP rigged more than APC. That's clearly what it is. Don't deceive yourself. That's exactly what it is. And so INEC looked for AAC was like the only party that was a pain in their ass. We are the only party that refused to be compromised. I'm not telling you that I heard that. I'm telling you what I experienced. In the governorship election of Enugu State, I was approached so many times, threatened. When they threatened and I saw that I wasn't going to budge, they started trying. No, first of all, they came to say, look, why don't you just take this money and step down? And I refused. Go and see how many times from 70 something candidates, they gave them money, they stepped down to 50 something. They gave them money again, they stepped down to 30 something. Everybody was giving money. Until it ended up with I myself, Kenel Zodimma, Ayogo of APC, and then the incumbent governor. So I'm telling you not what they told me, but what I know. And when they saw that we were not going to budge, what did they do? They started threatening. They said they will kill you, you will die, they will do this, they will do that, you will not survive it. But it's just God's grace, because I was doing what I was doing innocently, not knowing that I was dodging bullets, not knowing I was dodging, people laying ambush to kill. It was just God. I had very close shaves running for an election in Enugu State. But all that came and passed. We survived all that. But what I want you to understand is the African Action Congress is, not was, will always be. It is the political arm of our movement, of the Take It Back movement. And if we did not have the African Action Congress, we will not be able to talk politically. Let me take your minds back to at the heat of the election. In the heat of the election, remember when there was a boycott for voting by IPOB, and at the end of the day, under so much pressure, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had to say, okay, go and vote. Can you imagine if there was one political party that the whole of IPOB put their weight against? But I'm not going to go to that place now. Those are lessons that we have learned. You see, in warfare, you keep changing your tactics. You keep advancing your weaponry. You keep updating your strategy. As long as your enemy keeps on changing too, you change, you adapt to be able to fight your enemy. And so, while Inec was doing all their shenanigans, we knew that they were not our headache, because they had now empowered a group of people who were now messing things up. The players that time were no longer Inec. Inec was a player, but we had people like Governor Wike going after Leonard, who was a willing vessel, who was licking his wound from APC that he joined and didn't get anything out. He will clearly tell you, oh boy, this thing, I must make something out of this politics this time. Oh, little did we know what he meant by making something. And so he collected. I'm not telling you fairy tale, oh. You know, I'm telling you because, like Ojukwu said, I am involved. I know. I'm not telling you what they told me. I'm telling you what I know. A lot of you were funnily fascinated or surprised when you saw the picture when Omoyele Sowore was announcing, the registration of AAC, and I was there, and Leonard was there, and some of you said, "Oh, Brother Chidi, I didn't know. Maybe I should show you that picture." I said, Brother Chidi, I saw you there, and I'm laughing. I said, "Oh, you saw me. What were you thinking?" I mean, like, what were you thinking? You thought when I come and talk, you see, that's a mistake a lot of you make. A lot of you come and a lot of you think that I'm blogging by yourself. Nobody told you. One day you just woke up and you say, "This Chidi self. This Chidi, you're just a blogger. You're just doing this thing to make money. You're doing it to make money." And if somebody asks you why, who told you? Now you tell yourself. So tomorrow when you see another thing, you just surprise yourself. Like you just surprise yourself by yourself. Sometimes you just start surprising yourself. Let me show you this picture, because I know some of you have seen this picture and you act surprised. You see this picture, you see Omoyele Sowore here, you see yours sincerely here, you see Leonard Nsenwa, who allowed himself to be used as a willing vessel by all the people who want to steal African Action Congress. But this very day was the day that we got our certificate of registration from Inec. This was in African Action Congress headquarters in Abuja in 2018. This was a very remarkable day for us. We never thought this was possible, and so we were all very, very happy. Now, so the reason why, and let me pause again, like I did before. Let me pause again to appreciate our comrades who went out today, because I'm sure by now, you people, some of you who don't understand, I hope by now you understand. Our comrades who went out in Lagos State, in Ogun State, in Oyo State, in Osun State, in Ekiti, in Rivers, in Edo, in Delta, in Kano, in Kwara, in Niger, in Abuja, in Bauchi, in Adamawa, in Kaduna, in Benue, in Plateau states. There are some other states in Kogi, in Taraba. These are places where people went to Inec office. And the lesson that you need to learn here is that activism is not something that you do for show. You must understand that these people, they are playing a mind game on you. Anytime we say we are going to protest, all of you start panicking. All of you will start writing letter. All of you will say, that's when you tell me to advise Shore. After this whole thing now, you won't call me again to advise Shore. Hey Chidi, tell Shore now, should he still be doing this? Hey Chidi, tell. But when we finish and we succeed, you start hailing us. You start posting the picture. It becomes a talking point. Even within our party, I have never seen some, I don't even know what to call them. You do this over and over and over. Are you not tired? Haven't you now seen that this is our way of life? This is who we are. We will act according to the provisions of the Fundamental Human Rights Act of the United Nations. I'm not a lawyer, I hope I'm saying it well. But everything that is provided under fundamental human rights, we will exercise it, because now my property, I can't beg you to give me my property. No, you can't determine for me what to do with my property. Now me buy and with my money. The African Action Congress is a party that we registered. Let me tell you something. There was a time when, and I need you to understand this, because it was Shore that taught me this. And I'll tell you this. This was my personal discussion with him. I said, because you have to respect people that know something more than you. Shore has been in this thing for a long time. Me, I did my own activism, but I didn't do it to its own level. And so if you're a reasonable person, when you come around people who know something more than you, you bend down and you learn from them. Okay? There are areas that I know more than Omoyele Shore. When he gets to that point, he bends down for me. He says, Doc, how about this thing? Doc, can you do this for me? That's how life is. And so when I was telling Shore, come on, things, there are seasons. There's been so many seasons in Nigeria. There's a season when the particular thing is raining. Everybody is there. Everybody, this is what you have to do. There will be pressure. If you don't do, and people will throw you away. People will trash you. It don't matter. So everybody will run to that one that is raining. When that one is not raining again, the same people will run to the other one. Very, very dangerous. So when I asked her, I said, this thing about politics, so we shouldn't be talking about it, because he said, no, Chidi, I respect you a lot, Doc, and everybody has a right to say what they want to say. Clearly, our focus right now is not elections, because you know very well, and this is Omoyele Shore telling me, Chidi, you know very well that if you run for an election, it doesn't matter if we have 90% of Nigerians behind us, we will lose that election. Just to let you know, you think that some of us, when we do something, say, do we even see? Are we mumu? Can we see that we are not going to win this election? No. He said, if you run an election right now with these people, because it's not an election, it's selection, you will not win. But the biggest mistake you will make in life is for you to actually get intimidated by these people to a point where you will leave the stage for them. If you leave that stage for them, you have not done anything evil, that you have not ruffle their feather at all. At all. He said we have a registered political party. It's like you buy a car. You buy a Lamborghini. You buy Beetle. You buy whatever. You buy a truck, a Jeep. You buy Toyota Camry. Your car with your own money. You dey pay tax for the road. You dey buy fuel put for the car by yourself. Now your neighbor talk say because they are driving Mercedes, it's only now people who are driving Mercedes that should come and drive on the streets. And you listen to your neighbor, and very soon you stop driving your own car outside. Why? Did anybody stop you? No. Now you by yourself stop yourself. Very soon people will ask you about your own car. You say, that why? Because people ask, no. So your neighbor now is coming and standing in front of your gate and telling you, see, oh boy, I don't care. I don't ever want to see you drive that your car outside on government road, not even in front of his house. Can you imagine? You enter your car, you want to drive, your neighbor lock your gate with key, and he's driving his own car around. And when they ask you what's going on, you say, I can't drive the car. You see, my neighbor said I can't drive the car. So that's what he told me. You must make sure that as we are doing revolution now, as we are asking for a revolution, you don't detach yourself from what is going on, because that's what the people want you to do. They want you to say, you know what, I'm fed up, I am no longer talking. No, you must still be at the place where they are talking. Everything that is your right, it must come to you. As far as we have a party, they must treat us with the same respect they treat every other political party. What we decide to do with the party is our business. It's our business. If we decide to run for an election, if we decide not to run for an election, but as far as it is our party, you cannot come and take it. What right do you have to tell me when to drive my car, when not to drive my car, what color? Next thing, you send somebody to come and take the car. You have to be careful, oh. You see your farm? If you leave your farm, another person will go and cultivate that your farm, oh. Whether the same farm that is farm where they are farming, or your husband, and you don't take care of your farm, another one will go and farm in your farm. I'm talking about farm, oh. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's the reason why you have to protect whatever you have. Let me decide what I want to do. And by the way, I'm not blocking you. I am minding my business. I'm doing my own thing. We don't think that the people you put there, you put them there rightfully. But what can we do? You people have all the money, you have the police, you have the army, and the people you've put there, with your aid, you're telling us that we cannot talk anymore. People cannot go about their business in Nigeria. People cannot ask for what they want. And that is where you also need to listen carefully and understand what is going on. The right to agitate for an independent state of Biafra is everybody's fundamental human right. It is the right of the people of Biafra to seek to become a nation. And this is where I disagree with a lot of people, even within my movement or African Action Congress. You don't have a right to tell people whether they want to agitate for Biafra or Oduduwa. No. You can have an opinion. Honestly, you can have an opinion. It is your opinion. And they can take it or they cannot take it. Just the same way, you that is agitating for Biafra, you don't have a right to tell somebody that they cannot be a member of a political party, they cannot contest in an election. That is their business. But also remember clearly that when we started the Revolution Now movement, we are purely calling for a revolution. And in a revolution, clearly, in a revolution, everything is brought to a halt, including Inec. And we pull out the constitution and we go, not this constitution, we go to what joined us together. And we dust it and we open the document and we say, come on, this marriage where they marry us, how far? What was the terms of the agreement? And we dissect it. And we see that no, this marriage was not properly done. Let us now decide how to do this thing. The brides that were, all the people that came together in the marriage, are they still compatible? Okay, they are not compatible. Okay, so what do you want? Referendum. So we look into the constitution and we proceed with referendum. And after like you have Brexit, like you have Quebec in Canada. Oh, you don't know? Quebec in Canada is still agitating to be an independent country from Canada. Oh yes, in 2021. We did a referendum here in a civilized country. We did a referendum about 4 years ago. And if they had won the majority of the votes in that referendum, Quebec will be a country of its own today. How about in Great Britain? Is it Ireland? They are still voting, and they will continue, and they will still call for a vote. If they win that vote, Ireland becomes a country on its own. So it is nothing new. It's not a sin. And why do I do this? The things we try to do is we try to lecture you. We try to make you understand, so that you don't busy yourself when you see things happening. Okay? Nobody's against you. Nobody is countering what you're saying. Even if they are countering what you're saying, it is just an opinion. Don't lose sleep over it. You focus on what you are doing. And so that's why when we said, Inec, leave AAC alone, a lot of you are like, Chidi, why are you people even still bothering? Why shouldn't we bother? Why? We should bother now. Because you cannot stay. Well, how do they say it in Igbo? Somebody who is awake, rat cannot go and chop your fish. You keep fish, if they look, although some rats know they fear. Remember those days in Lagos, those big rats know they fear. They will come inside your house, chop your food right in front of you. So you cannot be alive and see somebody taking over what belongs to you and you keep quiet. No, you cannot. You cannot. You will defend it. Now me get time. What I want to do with it, I will do with it. Somebody say it's Scotland. Okay, thank you. Say it's Scotland. Thank you very much. So try to see, we are all in this thing together. So don't, sometimes I see some of you waste time killing yourself, arguing over something you should not be arguing about. Meanwhile, you and the thing you're arguing about, all of you are thinking the same way, but approaching it from different perspectives. When we said we are going to protest, he said, no, if you try, why do you always say if you try it, they are going to bomb you, they are going to kill you? They go, why? Why do you people always make it easy for these people? Why do you do their bad job? Why do you go online and you begin to castigate? You begin to tell, haven't we done it over and over? Have we not proven it to you? Yes, people will be arrested. People were arrested today too. So why is it a big deal? People were still arrested today, and they will still be released, and they will be charged to court, and we will go there in court and meet them. Okay, we don't want Nigeria. We should stop talking about Nigeria. But it is still the same court in Nigeria that is will try you. You still have to get a lawyer. Will you say, okay, you know what? Since I don't believe in Nigeria, since I'm no longer talking about Nigeria, you will not go to court? If they call you to court, you will not go to court. If Nigeria police stop you, you will not stop. You will still stop. We will still go to court, but we will still challenge them. That is why when we come up with ESN, we support ESN, because the government of Nigeria could no longer provide the security that is needed in those areas. They kill one person, they kill another person, and what do? We say, no, enough is enough. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes up with ESN, we support him, because we see that he has genuine intentions. Do you understand? And so I hope Inec, you see, the reason why we were not focusing on Inec clearly is because we were focusing on dismantling the government of Buhari. That was more important than Inec. Who is Inec? Inec will organize election now. That's what they will do. And as elections were, as you know, the wind of election is blowing, politicians are talking, people are beginning to get worried. What happened to our party? What happened to our party? They've taken it from you. No, we're just trying to show Inec that no be say we no fit come after you. No be say we no fit come back and take our party back. And the way we do it differently. We go court with you. We go do all this diplomatic thing. But when we say enough is enough, we'll come after you like this. And this is just the beginning. You watch. Shemina, the same thing Showore did with Malami. The same thing Showore did with who? They do all kinds of things. They arrest. Even now, Showore was banned from the court from coming out to protest. Didn't you see him protest today? I mean, what you see, you have to learn to respect people. Just learn to respect people. You see, when you have not even done as much as people have done, you just have to learn to respect them. And that's how I respect people who do the same kind of thing that I do. I see my brother Alexo Media, you always don't do what I ask you to do. When I tell you to post your link, you forget to post your link. So go ahead and post your link so people can subscribe to your channel. SN TV, I see you also. Promise Channel, I see you guys, man, and I want to thank you for your support. These are people who, this is a form of activism. I see what you guys do as public service. We are not the kind of channel that people clamor and come 1 million, 2 million, 200,000, 300,000. No. Because we say things that are uncomfortable. We stick on the issue. When it is pleasant or when it is not pleasant. When it is when it is popular opinion, there's popular opinion. We don't stick with the popular opinion. We stick with the truth. We are consistent with what we do. And when all these people do what they do, a lot of people don't understand them. Esther Oluyide, I see you. Thank you so much. This is the grandma of the African Action Congress, Revolution Now movement. You see, these are people who do what they do quietly on the ground. When there's money, when money is needed, these people bring out their money, their hard-earned money. These are people who make things happen. That's why I don't engage with a lot of you when you banter with me back and forth. I don't engage in a lot of you, because why should I do that? You're not making things happen. The people that I engage with are the people who are making things happen. Do you understand? Somebody like Esther Luide, you want me to tell you about Esther Luide and how, and this is somebody, you know how old she is or how young she is actually. Huh? Do you know how young Grandma Esther Luide is? But do you know how powerful she is? Do you know how she used to run things? There are people who run things, so but they don't make noise. You any small thing, you carry your phone, phone that you borrowed credit, somebody gave you credit, you talk, you talk. Ojaga Family TV, guys, I need you to post your link, post your links, post your link. Promise channel, guys, post your link for me. I like when I advertise you people. I like it. So once again, I really appreciate all of you. I'm gonna play, because I know some of you are wondering when are we going to see the videos. Me too, I became carried away, just telling you about this thing. So I'm gonna, and a lot of you are wondering, what about Shore? Is he safe? Yeah, Shore is safe. And they are saying, did Shore come out today? What happened? Oh yes, Shore came out. Shore came out today. No shaking. You don't know Shore, because a lot of you kept saying, will Shore come out? Can he come out? If he comes out, this will happen to him, that will happen to him. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's because you don't know him. Because if you knew Shore, you know that the worst thing that you can do, the biggest mistake that you can make with Shore is for you to dare Shore to do something. Like say, you are not allowed to do this, or you cannot do it. That's when he will actually, even if he was not planning to do it, because you have now dared him, that's when Shore will do it. So when Leonard Leonard there, and I work for you, my brother, and I don't know how you allow this thing to happen, but I'm praying that one day, I don't know what I'm even praying for. Should I pray that one day you come back to your senses, or that you repent from being a saboteur, or allowing yourself to be used by, I don't even know whether it's the devil now, allowing yourself to be used by the devil or of the devil? Because after all your insinuation, imagine, Leonard, you went and said that Showore has planned with a gang to bomb Inec offices around Nigeria. You should be so ashamed of yourself, Leonard. I see these days I've moved this thing to another level. This is no longer any time to be civil. It's not a time to be civil. You say things so that the Nigerian government will go and bring out ammunition, guns, and shoot people, and maybe shoot Shore. That's what you plan, so that they will shoot Shore. You say he's going there. He's going there with people to go and bomb Inec headquarters. Let me show you the bomb and the guns that they used today to bomb Inec headquarters. You and your people. You see how you do it. You don't allow them to intimidate you. Did you see that? You see that policeman using gun? You see Shore? That's how you know a man. That's when you know a man. You see a man walking.
with you and submit our demands and ensure that you fulfill them. Otherwise, occupation of Inec will continue. There's no way anybody can isolate you from Nigerians who are here to ask questions. Not all the police officers in Nigeria can do that. Not all the army in Nigeria can do that for you. Not all the guys at the DSS, my friend, who detained me for 5 months, can protect INEC from the wrath of the people. Yes. What we are asking you is that we are the taxpayers. We pay your salary. Stop being fraudulent. Organize free and fair elections. Is that too much to ask for? Let our brothers and sisters in the diaspora be able to vote the same way they vote in Senegal, in South Africa, in Ghana. Is that too much to ask for? No. I'm asking you not to be part of the fraudulent takeover of parties when they come party hijack. Because you created and it's your party affairs council, whatever it is called, to be singing the praise of somebody who is supposed to be a neutral umpire. And when we come and ask questions from you, you go and blame police. Policemen, are they not suffering too? Is the DSS, the elections are not free. DSS, you got a lot of problems. I know how you guys aided, anyways, how you aided them in Kogi State to rig the election, the DSS. How the police aided them to rig the election in Kogi State. How the army aided them to rig the election in Kogi State and Bayelsa State. And now, you want to aid them to prevent us from asking questions from people who are paid to answer all our questions from time to time. That's why we are here. And as I told you, when you are ready to arrest me, I'm based in Abuja. You can come at any time. And we will give you Coca-Cola first so that you can calm down. Don't worry. I want to reiterate again that we need somebody from INEC, a responsible senior officer from INEC. We are here to see the chairman of INEC, but we've just been told that the chairman has gone away. Can we find another person at INEC who can talk to us, who is not on the run, to discuss this matter? A responsible INEC officer. There are some of them that have seen their faces, they are not responsible. I've met them before. I'm not going to meet with them. If there's any trustworthy, responsive and responsible INEC officer, we are going to talk to them. But if not, we will occupy this place until we hear from them until these issues are resolved. We have allayed your fears. Nobody will burn INEC. INEC is our property. We will never burn our own property. And you all know that we are not violent people. We have never engaged in violence. It is you people that engage in violence all the time. You are the ones who are always against Nigerian state. So, I want to give you guys a little bit of time. Go and bring your chairman, wherever he's hiding, under the bed, under cooking pot, tell him to come out. This is the job that he was appointed to do. He lobbied to be do. There's no reason for him to be hiding. Why is he hiding? When he wants to rig the election, he doesn't hide. When you want to ask questions about Nigeria, you go and hide. You go and bring police. You go and bring gun. Why is it that every time you guys have a military mentality? Every time people ask you questions, you go and bring police. God can solve everything. Can God solve all the problems? Has God never solved any problem? If God solved every problem, Nigeria would not be like this. Because the countries are worse with God. Take it back. I'm also hearing that some of our colleagues were arrested earlier. Please, before we leave this place, we want to hear that you have been released. I cannot believe that INEC has a detention center inside here. And you have never detained.
They have turned INEC to a police station.
You have never detained the election riggers. You have never detained INEC officials that collude with criminals to rig the election. But peaceful protesters, we are happy to detain. It's a shame. I will say shame on INEC. Shame on INEC.
I had to show that video just so you guys know what happened today, because some of you, that's just, and I hope you repent from this. I hope you repent, because what you do, let me show you a little bit of what happened. This so many places, I don't need to prove anything, I just showed a little bit of that. But in other places, in other parts of the country, it happened. This one was in your state, Of course, as expected, the signal was not very strong, but that is the kind of network you have in Nigeria. Some of my friends, when they go to Nigeria and come back, they say, but things are happening. It's not like you think, Chidio. It's not like you think. Things have changed. Things are happening. I say, just because you are in Abuja, that's when you think things are happening. When you go to other parts of the country, you see that things are not happening. And like always, you see, Nigerians are so, the level of cowardice, I pity us. Shore said he was going to be in Inec. Press people did not go. Mainstream media, you knew when he was going to be there. He told you when he was going to be there, but they believed that the police will stop them. Everybody already wrote the script. They didn't believe that Shore himself will come out. They didn't believe it, and so they won't send their reporters. They will not. But when they now begin to see, but they'll be monitoring you. It's just that we couldn't stay on. If not, they're also monitoring us to see whether we'll come live, to see whether it is actually happening. And immediately they now see that it's actually happening. See what they now did. They now send their reporters in. Sometimes we even get tired of doing this job because you're waiting for somebody to do the job for you before you come. When they now see that action is happening there, that's when they now run to the place, because they never believed that it will happen. And now they bring their newsmen. So that was how it went down at the Abuja headquarters of Inec, where Omoyele Sowore went to demonstrate against Inec. Now you must understand that the case is in court. I try to let people understand, and that's what this channel is all about. What we try to do is to help you understand what is the situation here. Every time you have someone fighting, anytime you have someone on the side of justice, he will always be opposed. The government will work against you. Amongst all the other political parties that were formed, do you see any one of them still active? Do you see any one of them active? No. Why is it that they are after AAC? You must ask yourself. It is because it is the one that is genuinely the opposition. Do you understand? It's like sometimes when you begin to see things happening in your life, it is because what you're doing is causing wahala in the devil's kingdom. If you're not, see, if you don't have issues, if they don't call your name, it's because you're not, what you're doing is not having any effect. You're almost like the living dead. When you are active, when you are how do they say it? When you are what did happen to my head now? When you are these rumbling feathers, or how do they, people help me with English now? My brain suddenly went blank. But when you are causing problems amongst the people who are troublemakers, when you are causing trouble for them, that's when they begin to come after you. But if you are just doing things, nobody challenges you, nobody does anything, that means what you're doing does not have effect. You should go and change your method, change your plan. You know how I feel about IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but look at what is happening with Nnamdi Kanu. All of a sudden now, they are declaring new Biafra government. Why do you think so? Why do you think so? There are so many security outfits all over the place. Well, Meiti Allah has his group security. They have guns. This one, that one, Amotekun, everybody lauding them. Oh, they did well, they did well. Isba police. When they formed ESN, the whole thing changed. Now you see military helicopter going to kill people. Why? Because that is the authentic security group that is really doing what it's supposed to do. So when you see authenticity, they don't allow you to rest. And that is what is happening. So once again, I really want to thank our brethren, our comrades from all over the place who participated in this whole thing. And I'm gonna see if I can call one of them on the phone and just find out a little bit of information from him, and that will just help us to round this whole thing off. But I can never stop thanking you enough, those of you that are actually on ground in the midst of all the problems, in the midst of all the wahala. You people are still there, going out to fight for all of us in whatever way because these people, they want to intimidate you, they want to shut you up, they want to get this to a point where you cannot even you can protest anytime. Even while we were there, they bought the government now, Immediately they started making calls. They quickly organized people, mobilized people to come and counter the protest. You were hearing them too. That is purely how they behave. That's how they behave. So actually, I have Juwan on the line. I'm gonna call him so that I can hear from him. I hope it's gonna be clear. Hey, Comrade Juwan. Comrade Juwan, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, hello, comrade.
Yes, I actually have you live on air. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
Okay, I didn't know I'm live on there because I'm actually on the roadside. But no worry, go on.
Yes. I wanted to thank you on behalf of a lot of us from all around the world for you organizing with a lot of our comrades to go out today to the barricades in spite of all the intimidation, in spite of everything they put out there. But you guys still walked out to go and face danger and protest and give people a hope that they still have a right to protest and they can do it successfully. So, Juwan, I really want to thank you and every comrade out there.
So much.
Now, you know what? I'm going to call you on the direct line. Let me call you on the direct line because the signal is not strong enough. Yes, that is the same thing we are fighting. You can see I'm trying to call him and it's not even. So I wonder why anybody will actually be. I wonder why you would have anything against what they are doing. You can't possibly do that. You can't possibly have anything against what they are doing. Oh, I'm trying to call him. I'm hoping he can pick the direct call so that we'll have a better signal. Hello, Comrade Juwan.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, go ahead. I was trying to call you directly, but it wasn't going through. But go ahead, summarize for us what happened today.
Okay, today, like we all know, there was a nationwide protest against the ineptitude and illegality of Inec. And today we had the protests happening across all southwest states, through the south and through the north. And at least I can confirm that we can confirm about 21 states that participated in the action nationwide.
Good.
And there are other states who equally may have done the action, but we've not really had their pictures or their videos. But now there are pictures and videos to confirm that about 21 states had done the action, which for us is a very, very good point. And as we can see, most obviously what transpired in Abuja and Lagos especially. In Lagos, where particularly I participated in the action, police DSS. They've laid a siege at and barricaded doors from attempting that we do not reach Inec office, and in fact threatening to intimidate, even almost arrest some of our members. In which case we had to resist, and then we held our ground for the protest. In which case, that is the protest we held down for hours. After which INEC came out immediately. Immediately we started to occupy. INEC sent out a representative, and then we also sent the representative down to the INEC office. In which case we had the meeting. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, man. We can hear you.
Okay, so I was saying after there was a standoff between us and the police force, the INEC sent out a representative, in which case they wanted to have a meeting with us on the streets, and we rejected that we have to get to the INEC office. So at the end, we sent down four delegations from the states, from Lagos State branch, who went inside to meet with the Inec leadership in Lagos, had exchanges, had submitted letters and proofs asserting the fact that Leonard Ezenwa is not a member of our party, has been removed, and his impostors in Lagos are equally not recognized. Similar thing was done in Abuja, where you even had Leonard Ezenwa, who also had the temerity to show up with barely 20 persons who are mobilized obviously with money, because they do not number of them do not even know the full definition of the African Action Congress.
Yeah, I
You
was
know, as
hearing they didn't even
opposed
know how to shout the chant. They didn't even know.
exactly, exactly. And for us in Abuja, and however, in Abuja we had a very massive turnout, in which case our comrades came from all local governments in Abuja. All local governments existing in Abuja, comrades came out. They are mobilized down there, and we had two national officers at the protest. That was Shuere and the organizing secretary, that was Shocks, and we also had the Abuja FCC chairperson, that's Amin, and the entire executive of the Abuja EC present mobilized at the protest. So it was generally an interesting outing. It was clear to the visible to the blind and audible to the deaf who actually is the national chair of the party, in which case is Shure. So all the states in which Action said held the unanimous position, rejecting also pass and asserting a July 2019 resolution resolving that Omoyele Shure remains the national chair of the party. And in which case, as you may have also seen, we also the party also gave INEC a week ultimatum to do the needful, else will return to the occupy.
Why is it that even though the Leonard Zenwa acting with the government had said you were planning to come and burn down INEC and all of, why were you guys not afraid to still go out and do this protest? Why?
No, there's no basis for us to be afraid of anything. You know, for anybody who sees Leonard Ezenwa talking, you know that it is simply the end of Esau, but the voice of Jacob. You know, Leonard Ezenwa is only expressing the tone of the government and their opinions therein. So, but nonetheless, we are not engaging the government for the first time. We face their violence, we face their impunity in August 5 Revolution 2019 protest. We face their violence at the HEMSAS protest. We confronted their lawlessness with Occupy Lekki, and some of us particularly have been facing their violence since being a student union leader. So we already know that we are dealing with lawless, impunitive, and violent group of persons. And for us, we are not willing to submit our country to the rule of such lawlessness, insensitivity, corruption, and whatsoever terrible name you can give it, impunity.
Listen, I am Juwan. You were just a few weeks ago locked up. You were just a few weeks ago locked up with someone like Macaroni. You were in the same van and all. You were tortured. You were beaten. And just how many? A few days later, a few weeks later, you're back again on the street. Why do you do this?
Why what?
Why is it
Why
that
what?
why is it that just a few weeks ago you were locked up with Macaroni and others for protesting at the Lekki toll gate, and today again you're out still protesting and you're not afraid of being locked up again?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I said earlier. You know, it's a question of not being prepared to submit our humanity, our freedom, to the rule of dictatorship. That is it. And the faster every Nigerian realizes their strength, the better for us. We've gone past the stage of fear. You know, people who don't even go out of their houses, they die every day anyway. You know, governments are collapsing houses on the heads of people who are dying every day. They are abducting people in Zamfara, in Kaduna. They are killing them like animals. So whether you talk or not, you would end up dying. So why not eventually dying doing the right thing? So that's it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Juwan. Thank you for the work that you do. And thank you for all the comrades that came out today. Please just extend our regard to all of them. And Luta continua.
Victoria Sata, thank you so much.
Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. So, guys, that was Comrade Juwan. If you know this guy, you know he is a diehard. He just never gives up. He just moves from one custody, one prison custody to another prison custody, from one place to another, one detention camp to another detention camp, every time, but he doesn't give up. Look, people must never give up to intimidation. You must never give up to intimidation. When they say we cannot come out, we must come out. You just have to keep proving. Look at, they went ahead and they increased the price of fuel and we still kept quiet. How can we do that? How can we do that? You can't. You have to come out and protest. You have to come out and show them that no, we don't agree. That is how it is done everywhere around the world. For now, from all of us in the Toronto studios of Worship Media, I want to say that I love you, and Dr. Erica sends her greetings as always. All right, take care and bye-bye.